All right, guys, it's Lucy. I'm back. Another storytime video. Very excited to bring you guys this one. It's going to be a really good one. I hope you guys will enjoy. I bet you will because it'll be great. It's going to be a good one. I promise. I promise. First thing, though, be careful when you're lifting shit because yesterday I was lifting slate. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like really heavy, like rock kind of. And I was lifting it and I did not use my legs. I used my back. And I woke up this morning for work and I actually wanted to die. It hurt so bad. So, yeah, that's a little lesson from Lucy. Please lift with your legs because it will hurt. But on to the storytime video. Today is about the first time I took shrooms, the magical mushrooms, as some people call them, as I call them. They are magical. They were magical at this time, and they were magical every time since. I've taken mushrooms quite a few times. I have quite a lot of experience with them. I love mushrooms. They're my favorite drug. Psychedelic. They're great. I love them. Not telling you guys to do them. I mean, if you're like mentally sane and you're stable. I wasn't, but I still did it, and it was really fun. I really enjoy mushrooms, so I'm not telling you guys to go and do them, but if you ever do, you'll understand what I mean because they are a great time. I love them a lot. But on to the video. This was for my friend Everett's first. This is for Everett's 18th birthday. He had never done shrooms either. It was me, Everett, Max, and this guy. I think his actual name was Ben, but I've seen him this one time, and that was the only time I've ever seen him, so I'm just gonna call him Ben. So I had Ben, Everett, and Max, and this was a great weekend. It was like, I'm pretty sure it was a Friday night, and then we woke up on Saturday. We spent the night, I'll get to that. We spent the night somewhere. We came home Saturday. It started on Friday. I also don't know if I mentioned yet, but this is a two-part story. Hopefully I didn't mention that. This is going to be a two-parter. This is first part. But yeah, we went to this place called Shingletown. If you want to look that up, you can. It's like Northern California. And it's like this mountain town. There's like no service. It's very like hillbilly, redneck. No offense to the people that live there, but it's a very small town, very small. And my friend Everett, his stepdad actually lived up there. Or I think he was his stepdad. I don't know. It was kind of a weird situation. He was like with his mom for a while, but then they weren't together. And then he was kind of just like he came around and kind of watched over the kids sometimes because Everett's dad was not very chill. But Everett has really been wanting to try mushrooms. He was like begging me to try them with him. I really wanted to try them. I was a little scared, a little wary. I mean, you guys have heard the stories. They can be kind of dangerous. They can really take you to places of your mind that you might not be ready to explore yet. And I don't know if I was quite yet, but it was fucking awesome. Mushrooms are amazing. I love them. But so at first, originally, it was just me and Everett, and then I think that's it. Oh, and Ben, this Ben character, he was an odd dude, very weird. No offense to him, but he was kind of a weird dude. But Everett had asked me on this upcoming week. I believe it was a Wednesday, maybe a Tuesday, like before that Friday, because it wasn't like a set plan. But then he kind of asked me, and I was like, "Shit, I would actually love to do that. That sounds really fun." So I asked my mom. I kind of begged her because she didn't want me to go, but I couldn't miss out on this opportunity. I love Everett. He's still my friend to this day. I don't see him as much anymore. We used to see each other like pretty much daily. I don't see him as much anymore, but I love Everett. He's a great person, great dude. Uh, Very funny, very very cool. So we had the first mission was to acquire the mushrooms. We needed these mushrooms, and we actually did that after. Like we didn't even have them until we were heading out of town. And so Ben, he pulls up. He pulls up in this like old Camaro, not super old, probably like 2012 Camaro. It was a cool car. I mean, it was nice. It could go fast. I'll get to that later. It was a very fast car. But Ben comes, me and Everett and Steve, I mentioned him in the last video. Me, Everett, and Steve, we were all like best friends. We lived in the same apartments. But at this point, Steve had already moved to Texas, as I mentioned in the last video. And so Everett, he lived literally right across from me. Like you look out my door, you see his door. Like we lived right across from each other. So this Ben character, he pulls up. We got all our shit loaded in. We didn't bring much. I think I brought like some blankets, some backpack, a couple clothes. I think I might have brought in a little bit of weed because I mean I didn't really plan on smoking a whole lot because I've heard like it can make it intense. Not super intense, like not acid intense, but like it definitely like boosts your trip. So I brought a little bit of weed. It was just me, Everett, Ben, we're getting ready. We're getting ready to leave. It was just going to be us and then Everett's stepdad. Stepdad-ish, air quotes. But he was coming as well. He was going to be there. So, yeah, I don't know. He was an odd dude. I don't know. He was a little silly, a little silly. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I believe, no. He was waiting for us in Shingletown. I remember that. Or wait, no, I'm totally forgetting. He actually drove up with us. He was there too. It was me, Everett, Ben. We got in Ben's Camaro and his stepdad. John. I think I'll call him John. John. He was in his own little like. It's kind of a shit box. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little like Toyota, like maybe a Rav4, but like a really old one. Or wait, no, it was a Toyota Corolla. It was a very old Toyota Corolla. But we all get ready. We're heading out. We actually had to go and pick up the mushrooms, and John headed to Shingletown. I think he just came down because he was like making sure everything was good. He headed to Shingletown. We had to acquire the mushrooms. So we found Everett's plug. He kind of looked like a Discord mod. That sounds a little mean, but he was definitely Discord mod esque. He had like neck beard, long hair, ponytail. I think he actually had a kid, and he was only like 20, 21 maybe. Or actually, he was like 19, I think. Yeah, because he was like a year older than Everett. But we pull up to the plug's house. We paid, I think, $80 for 7 grams, maybe a little less than 7 grams. But definitely, I don't know if that's good prices. I think it was good prices. It was albino penis envy. That's a good strain, very good strain. If you guys do ever take mushrooms, that is a good strain. I will. Actually, no. Wait. No, they were hillbilly. Hillbilly, I think, is what they were called. But they were really good mushrooms. They were great visuals. But I'll get to that. So we picked up these mushrooms. We started to get ready, head out of town. And I like my friend Max, who I mentioned earlier, he pops into my mind because we're literally like a couple blocks away from his house. And I was like, fuck, I wonder if Max wants to go. So I call him up. I'm like, yo, Max, you good? You want to go? Or I like explain the situation. I was like, yo, you want to come and like do mushrooms with us in Shingletown? We're going for Everett's birthday. Max kind of knew Everett. They were kind of from two different like friend groups. I'm still very good friends with both of them. Don't see Everett as much. I see Max pretty regularly, but I love Max. So I call him up. I'm like, yo, what's up? You want to come and do mushrooms with us in Shingletown? He's like, yeah, let me just ask my dad. Like, I'd really love to go. That sounds like good time. Good time. It's a Friday, we were in school, but it was the weekend. We didn't have anything to do. None of us really had jobs yet at that point, which I think I got my first job like shortly after this. But so we pick up we pick up Max and we pull up to his house. He like asks his daddy, make sure everything is okay. He like loads up his bag, hops in the car. We start on our trek to Shingletown to do the mushrooms, and we have acquired the mushrooms. We've acquired Max. We got Ben in the driver's seat. We got Everett in the passenger seat. Me and Max are in the back seat, and we drive a little bit. I remember we stopped at a gas station. We got some snacks. We were pretty hyped for that. And then about halfway to Shingletown, which I believe it's like an hour 20 maybe from where I live. I'm not going to tell you guys exactly where I live, but it was like an hour 20 from where I live. And we like halfway, we stopped at this little like, I think it was like a Holiday Inn maybe. We don't really have those where I live, but there are some surrounding towns that have them. I don't know if you guys know what that is. I don't know if that's like a nationwide chain or anything, but we go to a Holiday Inn. We get like a bunch of soda, a bunch of chips, and I'm pretty sure we got like some cookies maybe, but we kind of just got some like shit food. And people say you don't really get hungry on mushrooms. So we didn't get like a crazy amount, but we definitely got more than we needed for the night. Like it was definitely a lot of food and soda. So we get the grub, we get the snacks, we throw them in the car. We keep driving. We make it up to Shingletown at this point. Like we got there. It was like maybe 40 minutes from this like little supermarket. And we make it to Shingletown. We get out of the car. It's like really cold outside. I think it wasn't quite dark, but it was definitely getting there. We all grab our bags. We get out. Shingo Town, they don't have service up there, so there was literally like one little corner of the house where you could get service. So I text my girlfriend. I'm like, "Yo, I made it. Like, just so you know, we're safe. We're good. We're about to have a great trip. About to have a great fucking time. Like, I'll talk to you later." So we get everything in, we get settled in. Ben actually had a medical card, so he brought a bunch of fucking edibles and then like a good like 4 or 5 pre-rolls maybe. So we get inside. Ben opted to not take shrooms. I don't know why. Like, he was kind of a weird dude. It probably would have been fun if he did them, but he chose not to. So we weren't gonna pressure him or anything. So I actually took probably about 3 grams. I think me and Max took a lot, and then I think Everett took a little less, but I threw a lot of the money. I think I threw like 40, $50. So I mean, I deserved those like 3 grams. It was a good time, good time. So we take the mushrooms. It was probably about let me think. I think it was like 7 o'clock, maybe 7, 8 o'clock, maybe. But we take the mushrooms. We're waiting for them to kick in. We also actually took edibles too, which is kind of crazy. They definitely whooped our ass, but it was great. I mean, I had a great trip. I believe we all had great trips actually. So we take these edibles. We smoke a little bit of weed. We like lit up one or two of those pre rolls. John was cool with us smoking in his house actually, which was really chill. Very hype, very hype. Happy about that. So we take these mushrooms and they actually started to hit. Like, I think I felt them maybe like an hour or two in. They definitely hit like quicker than I thought they would. I think the weed also kind of activated them. So we all start tripping a little bit. It's just me, Everett, Max chilling. Ben's kind of off to the side. He was a questionable guy, but he didn't take any mushrooms, so he was kind of just high. He was kind of faded. He was just like laying back. And then they started to like hit, and they were like, I just remember like my brain was kind of tingling and I felt like warm. I felt really nice on the inside. And then like the walls were kind of wavy. Like at first they were just a little bit wavy. Like, I definitely was paying more attention to things, and things were definitely a little bit off. Things were definitely moving a little bit. Uh, I do remember at one point when I was really like starting to come up, I looked over at Max and his face literally fucking formed into it like a demon. It was actually terrifying at the moment. Like, oh, he actually remembers that to this day. I remember he got really scared because I was so scared of what his face was turning into. It's kind of terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. And he told me the same. Like, he told me that I also had some like weird deformation to my face, kind of. And I remember around this point, I go into the bathroom. I'm like looking at myself in the mirror, which they tell you not to do, but I had to fucking do it. I had to experience it. So I pull out my phone. I actually have the video on my phone. I'm not posting that because that would be kind of embarrassing. But I remember I was looking at myself in the mirror. My pupils are fucking bowling balls. Like, it was crazy. Huge pupils. It was kind of scary. I was looking at myself, didn't quite recognize myself. It was a little scary, a little spooky. And then we go back into the living room. I remember I went over to the corner with the service at one point. I tried to text my girl a little bit. We were just chatting a little bit. I was telling her, yeah, I'm actually having a great time. Like, the mushrooms are hitting perfect. They're hitting money. They're hitting great. So I text her. We're having a good time. Me and the boys, me, Max, Everett, Ben. Yeah, Ben. I actually think Ben, he fell asleep really early. He pulled out his fucking little air mattress. He fucking aired it up. I think he literally fell asleep at like maybe 10 o'clock. It was kind of nuts. Like, it was insane that he fell asleep so early. I think it's also because he didn't take mushrooms. And so we're all hanging out. Throughout the night, we're eating. Like, I think I cleared like 12 tiki punches. If you guys know what that is, Shasta Tiki Punch, fucking fire, gas ass drink, good ass soda. I was smacking them, destroying them, completely fucking obliterating them. They were great. I destroyed them. And I was just eating chips and like the Cool Ranch Doritos. I remember those were really good when I was tripping. They were great. They were so good. And so we're chilling, like slowly eating throughout the night. We had some cookies too. I can't remember what kind, but I remember the cookies were really good too because I was destroying those as well. They were great. Like money. Like, oh, they were so good. And then we were just chilling. I remember he didn't actually have like cable or anything. So we went through his DVDs and we found an old South Park DVD. And if you don't know what South Park is, you basically live under a rock. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. You should know what South Park is. It's a funny show. I don't watch it much because of this actual situation, and I'll get to that. So we put in this DVD. It's like old South Park, like really old. I don't know what season, what year, but I do know it was old. Like the animation was really bad. It was like it was really funny looking. I was also on mushrooms, so it was a little weird. And this was actually the episode with Hitler in it. Yeah, Adolf Hitler. They were kind of doing a little skit, a little like, they were him. And all I remember is the screen turned red, dark red and like black kind of. Like it was really dark, really spooky. And fucking they just start speaking in like tongues. They just started speaking in tongues. I don't know if it's like this in the episode. I haven't watched it sober, but they started speaking in tongues and it freaked the fuck out of me. Like it was so scary. It was kind of terrifying. I'm not going to lie. And I look over at Max. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is he saying? Like, this is actually so scary. And Max is like, I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. Max is like tripping too. Everett's over in the corner. He was lucky chilling. It definitely spooked him a little bit, but he looked like he was chilling. And then I remember throughout the night, John, Everett's like stepdad ish, he kept walking up and just like talking to us. And he definitely knew we were tripping. He definitely knew we were on something other than weed because he did see us smoke the weed. I think he smoked a little bit with us. And he just kept walking up and he had this like really like low voice. And he's like, how are you boys doing? Like, are you guys good? Like, how's it going? And it was actually freaking me the fuck out. And I just remember every time we'd leave the room to talk or like we'd try to get away a little bit so we could like converse without John hearing us because he was always like lingering in the background. He'd like pop out of nowhere. And I was on Shrooms, so it literally looked like he was phasing through the walls and like he was peeking out of corners. And it was like honestly fucking terrifying. Like it was really scary. And I kept telling Everett, I was like, bro, you got to get John off our dick. Like this is actually really scary. I don't know if I'm okay with this. I'm not cool. I'm not chilling. This is very, very scary. I don't love this. And so I think he might have said something to John. I don't know. But John definitely kept like pulling up at certain times through the night. And so me and Max, we kind of like started to hang out together and Everett had to distract John a little bit. Me and Max are just tripping fucking sack. Like we were tripping balls. And so it nears time to like lay down, it's probably about like 2, 3 in the morning. It was really late at this point. And Everett, he decided to sleep on the couch, like right by Ben, because Ben had passed out fucking hours ago, like 4 or 5 hours ago. So Ben was gone. He was slumped at this point. So me and Max, they show us this back room. There's like these 2 beds. John separates them for some reason. They were next to each other. I don't know why he separated them. Like me and Max were good homies. We definitely could have just slept in the same bed, I don't know. It would have been fine. I'm not gonna lie. So he separates the beds, and then they kind of set up the beds for us. And this room reminded me of like my grandmother's house, like my great grandmother who passed away a couple years ago. Bless her heart. Love Jima, but it really reminded me of her house. It was like all old fashioned. The beds had like quilts on them, and so me and Max, we lay down. We're just talking, and at this point, the mushrooms had started to like just make me cry and like think of like everything that could go wrong. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, I could die right now. Like, what if I died right now? And it was actually really, really scary. Like it definitely wasn't a bad trip, but it was like, I was just feeling like everything. It was like every thought I had ever had was coursing through my veins in my mind. It was really a spooky, spooky time. Like definitely a weird place in my brain at that moment. But me and Max were talking. He calms me down a little bit. Him and his girl, they were always going through something. They were always fighting in some way. So he like periodically throughout the night, he was going to that corner, texting her, calling her, whatever. And he was kind of tripping about that because she was a skank. I don't use that word ever, but she was a skank. She was not a cool girl. She did some really fucked up shit to him. I won't get into that right now, but she did some really fucked up shit to him. So he's talking about her and I'm like trying to calm him down. I'm like, bro, it's fine. Like let's just enjoy ourselves tonight. Let's have a good time. And then he points out, I remember Max, he points out because the room was completely dark. We couldn't even see each other. He pulls out his like phone, his flashlight. He points it across the room and there's these 2 like, they were probably like 1.5 feet tall nutcrackers up on a shelf. And I swear to God, they were looking at us and they were like moving. And I mean, it was definitely the mushrooms, unless like this house is fucking haunted. But they were definitely moving, and it was really, really like unsettling. It was not fun. It was not fun to watch, to see. These nutcrackers were very fucking terrifying. And so we're like looking at them. We had to turn off the light because it was terrifying. There was also a little star that was like shimmering in the moonlight through like the one fucking window in this room. And it was like going in circles in my vision, like my peripherals. It was really like spooky. It was, it was fun though. It was really cool to watch, just seeing like my brain fucking with me and just making this thing move around. So me and Max, we're talking. Eventually, I remember, I think I might have dozed off first, but maybe Max did. We actually fell asleep very quickly because I guess mushroom trips, they only last about 6 hours. They're not like acid where it's like 8 to 10 hours or whatever. Uh, so we doze off. We had a this. I mean, I told you guys about the night. It was a really fun time. I want to tell you guys more about the next day because the next day we also had some like crazy things. Like we definitely had a fun time the next day as well. But it's getting a little long here. My other videos have been like barely over 10 minutes. This one's going to be around 20. So I also have to leave for class in like 10 minutes. But I will share part two with you guys, probably the day, maybe 2 or 3 days after this video comes out. I plan on putting this up probably tomorrow because I still have to record some clips and edit the video, like do all the magic, the behind the scenes magic. But I can't wait to share this with you guys, or I guess I just did share this with you guys. I can't wait for you guys to see this and watch this. Uh, I love you guys so much, and this was part one of the first time I took shrooms. Very, very fun time, very great time. Love Max, love Everett, fuck Ben. Sorry, I mean not fuck Ben, but like he was definitely an eerie dude. An eerie. Yeah, I'll use that word. But I love you guys. Stay tuned for part two because I'm really excited to bring that to you guys. And yeah, if you are planning on doing shrooms for the first time, if you like, I don't know, I'm not telling you to do anything, but if you're planning on it, you can definitely ask me some questions in the comments. I'll be glad to share with you guys like the do's and don'ts of your first time on mushrooms. And yeah, later guys. Have a good one. Go and do something fun today.